Alright, so surface noise, opacity should default to 1. What was this defaulted to otherwise? Just 1? Alright. Let's see what happens if we turn it up. We can make it super bright. Or not bright at all. Alright, so surface noise size. Alright, it looks like 10's kind of the maximum. So we should take it maybe from like 0 to... (0 to 10 maybe. Yeah, let's just do 0 to like 10. Should do like 1 to 10. So you can just do it like that. Alright, the offset for these things looks like it should go from like again like 1 to 10. Alright, surface noise speed. It's super fast. Is that even the right thing? Surface noise speed is getting in there. Doesn't really seem to do much for speed. I think maybe I need to reverse the operations. So like the add needs to come after the multiply. Yeah, so I think that works pretty well. Alright, so what sort of variables do we actually need here? What, like 5x5 maybe? So let's set those defaults. So 5 and 5, and our speed. Let's allow a little bit more speed. You know, like maybe 1 to 10. Like 0 to 4 maybe. And what about changing that color? So we can have like yellow water or green water, super blue water, disco water. Alright, that's cool. Save that, all parameterized. I am out of water. Alright, the next thing we gotta do is we do the edge ripple, surface noise. We need to do the reflection stuff. Let me just get that real quick. Alright, roughness max and roughness min. Alright, we need to set these. Alright, roughness max should be like 0.25 by default. Roughness min should be 0. So we should be able to mess with this a little bit. Cool, that works. Alright, next is the water flow effects. Looks like there's only two things: water flow speed, water direction opacity. Do we have a color for this garbage? Mr. Croatian. Ah, it looks nice, so thank you. I can turn on all the effects. They're a little bit intense at the moment because I'm setting their default value, so everything's on at like 100%, which is not ideal. So I'm toning it down. Anyway, I'm gonna go fill up my water bottle. I'll be right there. Alright, let's get back to rolling along with this thing. Come on, Unreal, let me click on crap. Alright, so surface motion. We've got water flow speed. So water motion opacity. Water motion speed. I guess we're just gonna have two. It's not gonna be too much to it. Not much to the actual motion, I guess. So something like this. And then we can get that hooked up. Alright, let's see. We had the water motion speed. It's actually getting set anywhere. Doesn't look like it. It's called water flow speed. Let's see if we have anything here. Alright. And this should be 0.01. So I guess we'll go from 0 to 0.1. I'll just see if that does anything for us. Alright, we got that going on. Why isn't the opacity showing up? Because surface motion and surface space motion are different words. Yes, thank you, Unreal. I drug it in there and you gave it a different fucking title. It's very convenient of you. Alright, surface motion has now both of them, so we can change the opacity on that. That should go from 0 to 3. So we can make it super stupid looking. And I think we need to set the color as well. We already have a color. It's called the moving watercolor. So let's make sure it works. Looks like we're not using it right now. Alright, so this is called rough watercolor, or at least it used to be. Alright, so we want calm watercolor. And I think we also want base watercolor. Yeah, so water surface color. Well, at least now we can mess around with the moving watercolor. I think we also, there's got to be some other parameters that we can play with the moving water. I think it has to do with what the size of the thing that we're looking up. What's it gonna be? Is there any decent stuff here? Subtract, multiply. Got like 0 and 1 and all that stuff. I'm moving it along. I guess we want to take the texture coordinate that we have and then multiply it by a value. So we want like, it's the texture coordinate itself that we want to multiply. So this will be water motion noise size. Defaulted to 1 at the moment. So let's save that and let's mess with it a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Do we need to multiply after this? No. I'm going to multiply the noise size here as well. And that's the only way this will work. Alright, so we need a noise size in there. Water, motion, noise, size. Alright, it's going to go from like 0 to 1 or something like that. Alright, so our noise size should be so you can make it like nothing or very detailed. Actually, we want to make that able to go farther. Do you have the ability to change the noise texture? We haven't done the textures, have we? That's fine. So what else for the noise size stuff would we want? I guess there's nothing else really available at the moment. I basically just have a power 2 function. I am interested to see what happens if I shove both of these in here and do something like this instead. It's not a min function, it's a max function. Looks like trash. Alright. One thing that is interesting is it looks like we have a multiply times 2 right here for the y. It's like we got the x, but the y actually has what would be a power function. Is it a power function? Where is this thing coming from? Oh my god, that is ridiculously hard to see. As a power function and then a multiply by a thing. Was the power function even necessary? Guess we'll just leave that alone. It looks close enough. I'm just seeing if there's any other controls I really need. Which it looks fine. Alright, so we got the water motion stuff in there. Next is the calm shore edge stuff. Alright. Calm shore edge noise size. And it's going to be put calm shore. There are 4 things here. One is a direction. Alright, so we have calm shore edge noise speed. We have calm shore edge noise direction and calm shore noise opacity. Alright. This will go from 0 to, well, this will be 0.2 by default, and it should go from 0 to 1. Alright, the calm shore edge direction should be, you know, like 1, 1. No, 1. Noise speed, well, default says 0.01, so let's go from like 0 to 2. Calm shore edge noise says it's 0.2, and we'll still go from 0 to 10. So let's add the comments. So this will be calm shore. It's kind of hard to click on everything. It's probably more a sign of fatigue than anything else. And the other thing I need to go do is I need to go watch home water opacity. Yeah, here it is. Calm shore. I need to go watch that movie Dunkirk. That's something I should go do. I mean, it's even got my name in it. They named the movie after me, right? Retroactively named the entire thing. Alright, so shore edge. Where is it? Set vector. There it is. No, you can tell my parents are total nerds. Like, literally, I am named after the captain of the Enterprise. They just gave up. They're like, yeah, you're the third kid. We don't really care. We like Star Trek, so you're going to be named Kirk. I'm like, I was like, 0, and I was just like, are you fucking for real? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, well, fine. There are worse names. Alright, so we got all that sorted out. Let's see if it actually works. No, my other brothers have names, like after other family members and, reasonable shit like that. Alright, so we are on the calm shore stuff, so let's turn off the water motion and just have the calm shore edge. Alright, so let's turn the opacity. Let's allow ridiculous opacity in case we want it. 0 to 3 because I really don't know why you'd want that, but you could do that. There might be a reason for it, like you got some stupidity going on. Alright, so the noise speed doesn't do jack shit. Okay, cool. What about the noise size? Doesn't do a damn thing. Alright, cool. Well, let's go figure out why that is. That's because we never named it properly. Yeah, super pixelated garbage water. Yeah. Let's just leave that alone. Are we not cutting it out? That's probably fine. Who really cares? There's no garbage water in Brackenwood. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all trash. There's literally no reason for this, is there? Other than you can kind of screw around with the direction a little bit. Yeah, but I mean the water effects and all the Brackenwood animations are just like, you know, some amateur made those. I don't even know. Whoever drew those needs to take some lessons, and that's for sure. Take some lessons in humility. So let's see. The next thing that we got is the calm water effects. All right. So the calm water effects is this. Looks like we're not doing stuff properly with it. Calm water opacity. Brackenwood is an overgrown trash planet. Oh man, that's rough. Somehow we've lost our calm water opacity stuff. Something's getting multiplied wrong inside of that opacity stuff. So I'll have to figure out exactly what that is real quick. So let's implement that first. So we've got calm water opacity. That is not what I copied, bro. Like, those are the only two that are in there. And then this gets added here. And then added into the color later. I think this has to do with the watercolor being wrong. I'm going to call this the calm ripple color. And I think it's that our color is incorrect in here. So we should see this jump out again. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's better. It's like, why is this wrong? I'm not seeing why. Oh, because the color's wrong. Yes, okay, the color is wrong. That makes sense. I'll just call this the calm ripples. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we need to set all these. And one of these is the calm water ripple color. Alright, so we need rough shore effect threshold. Or what? The roughness at which we don't render calm effects. Alright, cool, whatever. Calm water texture size. Noise speed. Noise texture. Noise normal. Alright, well we'll do the textures later. We need the calm water opacity. That's how far I have to turn my head to look from the bottom left of my screen to the top right of my screen. Alright, the shore edge distance. It says it's 2.0. So I can go from 0 to 2. Rough shore effect threshold should be 0.7 to start with, and it should go from like what, 0 to. Let's just do 0 to 2. See what it does. Calm water texture size. It's normally an 8. So let's go from 1 to 20. 0 to 20, fine. Noise speed, 0.1. So go from 0 to 2. When is this game releasing? It's a good question, Fade. 22-2. Hopefully we'll be releasing this game this year, but we're not going to preclude not releasing it this year because it's going to be done when it's good and ready, and we're not going to be like charging people for something that's a piece of trash. I mean, we might be charging people we might be charging people for a piece of trash, but it's going to be a piece of trash we're at least semi-proud of. Or at least I can hold up my hand in a court of law and say, hey, this is actually a game. It was kind of not horribly horrible, sir. So hopefully this year, that's our goal. So, well, we'll be good to go. Though, of course, we also will be hopefully, releasing, like a public alpha sort of thing. We're not going to be doing like, some stupid ass early access, pay us a whole bunch of money or something. That's thankfully not something that we need to do. because we are funding ourselves and not through like Kickstarter or something else like that, because nah. So hopefully we'll be getting good to go. And also kind of the scope of the game, we don't have to tell the whole story of Brackenwood with this game. It would be cool if we could tell the whole story we want to tell, but we don't have to, right? So if it ends up like, oh my god, it's going to take 2 years to ship the game that we really want that covers all the story stuff, well, we'll just make the next game, like... So, if it's like, oh man, we don't have enough time in the budget to make like all the enemies for, the when Bitey goes into space and encounters the reptile people, then, maybe we'll just, have that be episode 2. So it's kind of, we want to make a game within a certain amount of time. A lot of that has to do with the previous Dashkin game going on in development hell for like 5 years, like... At some point, you just got to be like, all right, dude, slap the fucking logo on it and ship the damn thing, or just cancel the project. Like, for the love of God, you're going to go insane here. So there's some of that going on as well, where it's like you got to ship something if you're going to ship it. Ship or get off the pot, sort of thing. So we'll see. I honestly think if we're going to ship it this year, it's not going to have absolutely everything. And a lot of that has to do with we're taking more time than we had initially estimated to do a lot of the visual look of the game. But that's fine. You can divide everything into a few DLCs. Well, I mean, I'll just say it right now. If we're going to have any... We're probably not going to have any DLCs, but if we do have DLCs that are actually not free, it's going to be because we're both, like, starving to death or something like that. It's not going to be like, oh my god, like, it's going to be like either this exists and the money is, for this is going to be further development, or it's just not going to exist. We're not EA here. We're not a publicly traded corporation where we can get sued if we don't make as much money as physically possible. We're here to charge enough money to actually make the thing work. And since we're not like a million people in a studio, hopefully we don't have to spend $2 bajillion million just to, pay somebody to count beans in the corner. Or figure out a way to incorporate through the Swiss government to pay less taxes for our servers being hosted in Ireland or in London instead of being hosted out of like PDX, things like that. We don't need those people. Yeah, Fade 2222. Yeah, publicly traded corporations can be sued by their investors if they make decisions which are not directly in line with making profits. So like if your board of directors or something like actively makes a decision which is not in the best interest of making money, and you can prove that sort of thing in a publicly traded company, you can sue the people and the corporation. That's, I would assume that's a pretty well-known thing, but like that's why publicly traded. That's, yeah. There you go. All right, so we're gonna pop these things in here. Effect threshold. Noise size. Texture size. There we are. Noise speed. Alright, so hopefully this will get our stuff set up. So this is calm water, ripples, opacity. Alright, let's test this out and see if it works. Or everybody sues everyone? I don't know. We don't... I think some of those cases have been overblown. And I think a lot of that had to do with like medical malpractice bullshit. But like, you know, a lot of people will bring up like trivial lawsuits in the U.S. and they're like, oh yeah, this one person sued McDonald's because of like, you know, the coffee was too hot. Well, just, you know, don't go Google that, because that person got horribly goddamn burned more than you would ever expect from just like some coffee spillage. So I think some of that has been slightly exaggerated. Why the hell are my calm water variables? Alright, calm ripples, opacity is 10. Now opacity should be 1, and it should go from 0 to 3. Okay, so we can make it stupid if we want. So the edge distance, we should be able to have kind of a, if we want, sort of thing. Alright, the short effect threshold. I'm okay with this. So you can kind of mess with it. Alright, this is the texture size, so you can make it either bigger or smaller. And then the noise speed. Looks like it all works. So I think we're good to go with that. So what else have I got to parameterize here? It looks like that's the rest of it. So I need to set it so you can change all the textures. I need to turn down the opacity default for the surface noise, I think. It's 0.4. And I think the surface ripples here are probably